ಈ ವರ್ಷ ನಿಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಸಮ್ಮುಖದಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈಸೂರು ಬುಕ್ ಕ್ಲಬ್ಸ್, ಮೈಸೂರು ಓದುಗರ ಒಕ್ಕೂಟ ಮತ್ತು ಮೈಸೂರು ಲಿಟ್ರರಿ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟ್ಗಳ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಸಂಭ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಆಚರಿಸುವ ಸುಯೋಗ ಕೂಡಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಶರಣು ಎನ್ನುತ್ತಾ ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲು ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಆದರಣೀಯ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರಮೋದಾ ದೇವಿ ಒಡೆಯರ್ ಅವರನ್ನು ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯುತ್ತಮ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನೀಡುವ 2022ರ ಬುಕರ್ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ವಿಜೇತರಾದ ಗೀತಾಂಜಲಿ ಶ್ರೀ ಅವರು ಇಂದು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಇರುವುದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯ. ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಆದರದ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಆಹ್ವಾನವನ್ನು ಮನ್ನಿಸಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗಿಯಾಗಲು ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ರಿಕಿ ತೇಜ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಅರುಣ್ ರಾಮನ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಆದರದ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ. ವೇದಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಅಲಂಕರಿಸಲಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೂ ಹಾಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸಲು ಬಂದಿರುವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯಾಸಕ್ತರಿಗೂ, ಪತ್ರಕರ್ತರಿಗೂ, ಹಿರಿಯರಿಗೂ ಕಿರಿಯರಿಗೂ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can see me. I'm a little short, but I hope you know the voice is coming from here. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 6th edition of the Mysuru Literature Festival. This is an annual event of the Mysuru Literary Forum Charitable Trust and the Mysuru Book Clubs established in 2015. My name is Pavitra Ghansham. I'm a member of the newest book club called Book Studio, and I'm going to be your host this afternoon. Also extending a warm welcome to Mr. K.B. Ganapathy and Mr. Sudanva. We are delighted to have with us this afternoon dignitaries, guests from all across India, and book lovers of Mysuru. To begin this afternoon, I would like to invite on stage Her Highness Dr. Pramoda Devi Wadiyar. I request our founder, trustee, and curator of the festival, Ms. Shubha Sanjay Ars, to please escort Her Highness. I request Ms. Kitty Mandana to please introduce Her Highness Pramoda Devi to the audience, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Her Highness needs no introduction, but I've been tasked with welcoming her and saying a few words, probably. So it is with much warmth and high regard that we welcome and thank Her Highness Pramoda Devi Wadiyar, who has lit the lamp. Who will light the lamp? Not yet. Who will light the lamp, which will shed its luminosity over our activities. When the Mysuru Literature Charitable Trust and the Book Clubs 2015 initially mooted the idea of having the Literature Festival here in Mysore, the Rajmata lent us her gracious presence and inaugurated our very first literature festival. A postgraduate from the University of Mysore, She was also conferred an honorary doctorate by the University of Mysore in 2016. Her patronage encompasses a large area. In the field of education, Dr. Pramoda Devi Wadiyar is the patron-in-chief of the Jayachamraja Arts Education Trust, wherein a good standard of education is imparted with emphasis on empowering women. Plus, the Vanivilas Arts Boarding School and College enjoys her benefaction. Continuing the glorious tradition of the Wadiyar dynasty that has given a rich legacy to our city, Her Highness evinces keen interest in art, architecture, and designing. The Mysore University's centenary logo was designed by her and embellishes it to date. Silks of India was another of her designing achievements. Her travels with her husband, His Highness the late Shrikanta Datta Wadiyar, to many historical places of interest further fueled her penchant for traditional architecture. And after the demise of His Highness, she felt inclined to carry forward the shared passion and involved herself in the restoration of several heritage buildings. She is patron and president of the Wadiyar Center for Architecture, wherein students are encouraged to think innovatively and are guided by experienced architects and educationists. Pramoda Devi Wadiyar presides over the Shrikanta Datta Narasimha Raja Wadiyar Foundation, which focuses on the promotion of heritage and culture, and was formally launched by Sadhguru Jagi Vasudev in February 2020. As the chairperson of Sri Jayachamraja Art Gallery Trust, she took a significant role in its restoration and renovation at the Jagan Mohan Palace. The Vanivilas Ladies Club, the oldest club in Karnataka, was founded in 1922 by Her Highness Maharani Kempa Nanjamani, a lady much ahead of her times. The club was exclusively for women and meant for the socializing and holding of cultural events, at first mainly for us ladies. Later, it evolved into an inclusive club and currently has the honor of having Her Highness Pramoda Devi Wadiyar as its patron and president, and who is known for keenly involving herself in its activities and is a guiding force. Her fervor for restoration and preservation of the traditional has led her to conceive a unique plan for the formation of a conservation team under the banner Wadiyar Heritage Center at the Chamundi Vihar Mansion, whereby she envisages having a pool of highly skilled artisans to be engaged in restoring to their original form invaluable museum pieces. And to this end, she is in contact with the experts in the field of skilled restoration. She has a slew of projects in mind, and we consider her patronage and dedication a bounty to our heritage city of Mysore in the needed preservation of its precious legacies. May her ladyship be blessed with well-being and longevity to carry on serenely and fulfill her life's goals, while we now appreciate and applaud her current achievements.
Thank you, ma'am. We are also extremely honored to have amongst us today Professor Beliappa and Mr. Jagannath Shenoy, extending a warm welcome to you. We are extremely honored to have Sushri Gitanjali Shri with us today. I request our curator, Ms. Shubha, to please escort her on stage. Sushri Gitanjali Shri is the recipient of the International Booker Prize this year. You will hear more about her and her book in the panel discussion that immediately follows the inaugural ceremony. It's going to be the first one. I now invite Mr. Arun Raman to join us on stage. I request Ms. Prithvi to accompany him onto stage, please. Ms. Renu Yamadagni, kindly could you introduce Mr. Raman to the audience?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It is a pleasure to introduce Mr. Arun Raman amidst this august gathering. Mr. Arun Raman is a postgraduate in economics from Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, and he's an MBA from Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania, USA, majoring both in finance and marketing. He ran his own electrical insulating materials company called Raman Boards for many, many years before divesting it to ABB Switzerland in 2007. He subsequently promoted Raman Fiber Science, an R&D-based manufacturing company specializing in engineered composites, and in a span of 6 years, it developed a unique battery separator material which is successfully was taken to global markets. And in 2014, Raman Fiber Science was acquired by Hollingsworth and Woss Company, a world leader in engineering composites for filtration and energy storage. Mr. Raman now divides his time between his businesses and his personal interests. One of them is literary. He has contributed many features to Hindu Sunday Magazine, Outlook, and Times of India very regularly. He's the author of 3 national best-selling thrillers, The Shadow Throne, The Treasure of Kafur, The Sky Fire, all published by Pan Macmillan. Apart from writing, he advises and supports a number of non-profit initiatives and NGOs. His other interests include tennis and trekking. He has held several senior positions with Confederation of Indian Industry and was also the chairman for CII Karnataka State Council for 2010-11. He also serves on various corporate boards and non-profit trusts. So here's Mr. Arun Raman before you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. May I please request Ms. Tangam Panakal, Secretary of the Mysuru Literary Forum Charitable Trust, to please come onto stage. Prithvi, could you please help with that? It is now my pleasure to invite 2-time Grammy Award winner, Mr. Ricky Cage, onto stage. Isari and other book club members, could you please escort him? Ricky Cage is also a Goodwill Ambassador for the United Nations. He is going to be performing for us this evening at 7 p.m. His performance will feature music from both his Grammy Award-winning albums and musicians from his world ensemble. What you can expect is a spectacular audio-visual experience dedicated to the natural world and coexistence with all life. As tradition merits, we now move on and begin this edition of the Mysuru Literature Festival with the lighting of the lamp of knowledge. I invite all guests on stage to please proceed towards the lamp so we can do the needful. For this. May I request Mr. Sugandva to please come on stage for the lighting of the lamp? May I request Mr. Jagannath Shenoy to come on stage as well, please?
कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापं सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तुते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः आरोग्यं देहि पुत्रांश्च पतिं स्वच्छां हि मे सदा रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् रवेरस्तं समारभ्य यावत् सूर्योदयो भवेत् यस्य तिष्ठेद्गृहे दीपः
The 6th edition of the Mysuru Literature Festival has now officially begun. I request a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I now invite Mr. Sam Cherian, trustee of the Mysuru Literary Forum Charitable Trust, to please come on stage and share a few words with us.
I would like to welcome all of you formally for today's function and the 6th Literary Festival of Mysore. Highness Honorable Dr. Pramoda Devi Wadiyar, dignitaries on the dais and the guests of the dais. I'm extremely happy and proud to welcome the dignitaries and the guests for the 6th Mysore Literature Festival. Her Highness Dr. Pramoda Devi Wadiyar, our Rajmata, has been a great support to our literary festival from the beginning, and I salute the Wadiyars for the contributions for the overall development of Mysuru. And Karnataka, and their contribution continues. Madam, I'm honored to welcome you here, and thank you for your time and being here. I welcome you again. Madam Gitanjali Shri, the 2022 International Booker Prize winner, Tomb of Sand, written by her, becomes the first Hindi novel to win International Booker Prize. A big boost to and inspiration to the literary translations in India. And Tomb of Sand showcases the depth and richness of literature in various languages of India. Madam, you are a pride for the country. And a pride for Mysore Literary Festival. Thank you for taking time and effort to come all the way to Mysore to be a part of us. And I welcome you personally for this event. Thank you. Sri Ricky Cage, you are a part of us. You are a part of Karnataka. We are very proud to have you here. a man who have won the Grammy Awards twice, which is very rare. He got the Booker's Prize in 2015 and 22. On the Grammy Award. Because I continued what she said. Well, not a bad idea, you can even try that also. Now, thank you for coming. And I know the trouble what you've taken to come all the way on time with your team to organize for today evening festival. Thank you so much, and I welcome you on behalf of all of the Mysoreans and the people gathered here. Thank you very much. I cannot welcome Arun. Arun Raman, you're all very well familiar with him. And this, we couldn't have reached to this level but for the contributions and the effort put behind all of us to bring the Mysuru Literary Festival to this level. Arun, thank you very much. And I welcome him. And I welcome Rajiv Sardeshai, Charu Sharma, Sugata Srinivas Raju, Sagargya Ghosh, and all our respected authors. I hope some of them are here already. I fail if I don't recognize the dignitaries, all of you, and especially people who have contributed towards the success of this event. I welcome Dr. Jagdal Chennai, and I recognize your presence. Shri K.B. Ganpati. Thank you, sir, for your time. Dr. C.D. Srinivas Murthy, Dr. Umesh Kamath, Dr. B.R. Pai, thank you for coming. And Mr. Hariranjan Rajaras, you came all the way to attend this program from your overseas trip. And thank you, Sudanva, and recognize your presence. Thank you very much. I extend my warm welcome to all of you gathered here, taking your time from your day's work, and thank you for coming. And I hope all of you will enjoy this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I request Your Highness Dr. Pramoda Devi to please come and share some thoughts with us.
Elrigu namaskara. Good afternoon. I'm sure all of you are looking forward to the next program, so I'll literally take 2 minutes. The trustees and members of Mysuru Literary Forum Charitable Trust and book clubs, the guest of honors, Srimati Gitanjali Shri, Shri Riki Kej, and Shri Arun Raman, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to inaugurate the 6th edition of Mysuru Literature Festival. As Ms. Kitty Mandana said, I have been a kind of a regular figure here. I inaugurated the 1st edition as well as the 3rd edition, I think. And 1st edition was at Windflower, and the second program is here. And it feels great to partake in this physical event organized by the Trust and the book clubs after a gap of about 2 years because of pandemic. I'm glad that the anxiety is behind us and we can look forward to many stimulating and enjoyable programs in future. It is heartening to know that Mysore book clubs have grown in numbers over the years. I'm sure this is due to the extraordinary events and programs organized by the Trust and book clubs, which have helped in rekindling the reading habits in people. I congratulate the Trust and the Mysuru Book Club members and extend my best wishes to them for successful conduct of 2-day event and also the future programs. I also convey my best wishes to the authors and all the participants of this event Lastly, I wish to thank the trustees and members of the book club, Literary Forum, Charitable Trust, and book clubs for inviting me to this event. And all the best to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request founder, trustee, and curator, Ms. Shobha, to please share her thoughts with us.
Namaskara Mysuru, and namaskara to all our dignitaries, friends, book club members, and Her Highness Pramoda Devi Wadiyar, International Booker Prize winner for 2022, Geetanjali Shri, two-time Grammy Award winner, Ricky Cage. I've really, to get him here, it was quite difficult because he's been performing continuously, but, I was at it. I think he must have had quite sleepless nights with my messages, but then he agreed. Anyway, and the biggest backbone of Mysuru Literature Festival, Arun Raman. Thank you, Arun. Our secretary, Tangam Panakal, vice chairman, Sam Cherian, our treasurer, who keeps all our money and doesn't let us spend, Rayan Irani, joint secretary Hanumant, Suchita, and Kitty Mandana, and our book club members, media persons, enthusiastic volunteers, guests, and our respected authors who are here from all over India and ever-supporting audience. Shatabdi was little delayed. There is one full bogie who's traveled from Bangalore to be here with you, both. That is Ricky Cage and Geetanjali ma'am. So today I stand here with immense pleasure to tell you all that I have been curating this event from 2017, and this is my 6th year of curation. And I hope all of you will enjoy the program which we have put it together for you all. So in 2015, we started with one book club, and in 2017, we started with the Mysuru Literature Festival, where we have Mysuru book clubs in English, Kannada, for children, and for the differently abled, and for the slums, orphanages, and for senior citizens. So we literally cater to everybody in the society, not just for the elite crowd, it is for everybody. Amidst the distress of the past 2 years, we have kept up our dreams to achieve our goals. We are at the threshold of launching the offline edition of Mysuru Literature Festival 2022 after 2 years. We are excited to celebrate the gathering. We are made weak by time and fate, but strong in will to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield, Ulysses says. When the pandemic brought the world to a standstill, the biggest question was, should we do the literature festival and how do we do it? Only after looking at the situation that, many people are homebound, we took the decision with the trust, we the trustees and the book club members, we took the decision that we have to run it. And I want to thank all the Mysoreans and the people from across the world who joined us from everywhere and to make this a super successful one. So continuing from 2020, we continued to the 2021 because, the support which we received was immense. In every change, there lies an opportunity to reinvest yourself. All we have decided is how to do it, and when time has given it to us. I have been asked many times, what is this literature festival and why is this done here? It is basically to promote education, reading, and to drive people away from their social media, for you all to get lost in your own world, in the book, and to promote our authors, and for people to get the imagination running. the norm to get event organizers is to conduct the literature festival is very easy. So we can just hire an event management people and then go on with it. But here at Mysuru Literature Festival, it is every member of the book club who takes up their responsibility and who makes this a success. So I am in the front, but there is a huge team which is working to make this a success. So with that, I come to an end. Please sit back and enjoy Ms. Geetanjali Shri, and evening we have Ricky Cage here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Shubha. We will now release the newsletter titled Book Leaf. This gives you a glimpse into the activities of the book clubs and the trust, and the humanitarian services that were rendered by the clubs and the trust during the pandemic. To begin this, I request Mr. Sudanva Dhananjay to please come on stage. Mr. Sudanva is a visionary making tangible change in the lives of children through the reputed school he runs, and also a major software company in Mysuru making the city vibrant. Mr. Arun Raman would be releasing the copies and giving it to other dignitaries on stage. May I request Mr. Arun Raman to please share a few thoughts with us?
ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತರಿರುವ ಮಾನ್ಯರೇ ಮತ್ತು ಮಹಿಳೆಯರೇ, ಚೀಫ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ಪ್ರಮೋದ ದೇವಿ ಒಡೆಯಾರ್, ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಸುಸ್ವಾಗತ, ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. When Shubha approached me maybe 5-6 years back about edition 1, I said, what is this all about? And when I stand before you today, 6 years later, it's amazing. The progress that the event has made year on year. I don't want to take up any more of your time other than to say that for me personally, a literary festival is like a bouquet of flowers or fruit. We may hear opinions that we are not personally in agreement with. We may hear theories that we don't particularly believe in. We may hear sentiments expressed that we may not necessarily subscribe to. But like a bee that goes from flower to flower and ultimately enriches itself and the honey, I think a literature festival is like that. I think we must take out of it its nectar in every form. And I think we will all be the better for it. I think Shubha said it takes us away from some of the triviality of social media, not to decry it, but we know that there is a lot of triviality out there, and I think this can bring us into contact with something deeper, something more varied. And I want to leave you with just the other day I was reading Baswana, and in some respect, one of his vachanas just struck me when Shubha said about this literature festival being an important part of our intellectual and cultural and emotional development and exposure in general in Mysore. See, in Mysore we've had a great literary tradition, I don't have to say, from Kuempu to R.K. Narayan to Abdul Rashid Saab to, just fantastic T.S. Satyan, my very good friend, who was not just a photographer, but a marvelous writer, right? Devanur Mahadeva today. And you have a whole, S.L. Bhairappa, you have across the spectrum, you have great writers that have taken their energy from Mysore. And of course, I personally love the Bhakti movement and Basavana. And Basavana says, Vachanadalli Namamruta Tumbi, Nayanadalli Nimma Murti Tumbi, Manadalli Nimma Nenapu Tumbi, Kiviyalli Nimma Kiruti Tumbi, Kudala Sangama Deva Nimma Charana Kamala Logalanu Tumbi. So, of course, he's speaking of Shiva and he's in a state of profound devotion. But the last sentence is Nimma Charana Kamala Dolaganu Tumbi. The Tumbi is, there's a play on that word. It's not only that I'm filled with devotion and bhakti for the Lord, but Tumbi also means a bee. So in your lotus feet, I am a bee which is sucking the nectar. So I think that we are all bees in the Mysore Literary Festival, and we are sucking its nectar and its. So I wish you all a great 1.5 days of listening to all sorts of wonderful people who've come, listening music. You have Yakshagana performance too, listening to authors of great repute. And I think I, for one, am looking forward to it really very, very much, being one with you in the audience. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I wish you have a wonderful afternoon. I'm now going to hand over the proceedings to Ms. Ramya Bopana.
Thank you, Ms. Pavitra. Ellarigu Namaskara. Friends, we now come to the second stage of today's inauguration. And in the last 6 years, Mysuru Book Club and Mysuru Literary Forum Charitable Trust have created a platform to launch books by authors who are world-renowned. This afternoon, we present to you all a few books along with the authors. May I request all the authors whose books are going to be released now, request you to come a little forward. We are privileged to have with us Her Highness Dr. Pramoda Devi Wadiyar to do the honors. Our first book, Yoga for Children Step by Step by Ms. Yamini Muttanna. Ma'am. Ms. Yamini Muttanna is a world-famous artist who has incorporated different forms of yoga in her dance and now has made yoga simple and interesting for children through her book, Yoga for Children. A big round of applause, dear friends. May I request KB Ganapati sir to please come up on the stage to receive the book. Sir KB Ganapati sir is the founder of our own Star of Mysore. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Our second book for this afternoon, Rajamal by Ms. Bharati Gansham. A big round of applause, and ma'am, may I request you to come up on the stage. Rajamal is a period novel about a woman who fought odds to make a place for herself in a society that set rigid, unyielding norms for women. Over time, with the support of her husband, she sculpts a life for herself, even in the face of societal derision and opposition. May I request founder of Unilog, Mr. Achyuta Bachelli, to please come up on the stage to receive the book. Yeah, we request Madam Sagarika Ghosh to please come up on the stage and ma'am, yeah, for a couple of minutes, yeah. A bigger round of applause, dear friends. Thank you so much, thank you. The third book for this afternoon is Furrows in a Field, The Unexplored Life of H.D. Deve Gowda by Mr. Sugata Srinivasa Raju. Mr. Raju is a prominent bilingual author and journalist. May I request you to come up on the stage, sir? Our ex-Prime Minister and our state's ex-Chief Minister, who has made his beginning into the world of politics in a humble way without having any political backing, and he still remains relevant in Indian politics even today. A big round of applause. I call upon on stage our business tycoon, Dr. Jagannath Shenoy, to receive the book. Thank you so much. The fourth and the last book, The Oldest Love Story, a motherhood anthology by Miss Maithili Rao and Miss Rinki Roy Bhattacharya. I request Miss Rao and Miss Bhattacharya to come up on the stage. The Oldest Love Story is a collection of essays which addresses motherhood through the prism of personal experiences and also questions the deification of motherhood. We call upon stage ex-Vice Chancellor K.C. Belyapad sir to come up on the stage. Request your presence here, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. We come to the last stage of today's inauguration, and I see you all eagerly waiting to celebrate Mysuru Literature Festival. I request Ms. Suchita Sanjay, Trustee, Mysuru Literary Forum, Charitable Trust, to propose the vote of thanks. Thank you.
Namaste to all of you. On behalf of the Mysuru Literary Forum Charitable Trust, I extend a sincere gratitude to Her Highness Dr. Pramoda Devi Wadiyar for inaugurating our 6th Literature Festival. She has always been a blessing to our Lit Fest. Thank you, ma'am. the presence of Sushri Geetanjali Shri has added so much of sparkle, charm, and interest in this festival. Thank you, ma'am. Shri Arun Raman has been with us right from the start. Thank you so much for your steadfast, ongoing support, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Ricky Cage, for the rhythm and zing with the performance this evening. Thanks to the innumerable panelists, Mysuru book lovers, the press, volunteers, each and every person who has helped this festival a resounding success. Sending you all happiness and joy on this wonderful occasion. Thank you again.
Thank you, Suchita. I request all the dignitaries to please take their seats in the audience. Thank you, Pavitra and Ramya, for an excellent anchoring in the morning session. And we now get ready for the first panel. Can we request the volunteers to please